Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and download Kali Linux, and we're going to get a working Kali Linux virtual machine inside of VirtualBox. I do have another video if you want to load that in VMware Pro, but it's good to get familiarization using different virtualization platforms, and VirtualBox is pretty common. So let's go ahead and get started with that right away. I'm going to go ahead and use three different websites here. So I have them open in different tabs. The first one is virtualbox.org. We're going to use that to download the VirtualBox software. The other one is Kali.org, where we can download the Kali Linux OS. And the third one is 7-zip, which I use to decompress um, the compressed version of the Kali Linux operating system. So you can use this, download 7-zip from 7zip.org. So starting off at virtualbox.org, make sure you're at the correct spot. You can either select the download or from the top, same thing at the download. I'll go ahead and choose it from the top menu bar. And you download VirtualBox for any one of these platforms. So I'm on a Windows machine right now. So I'm going to use Windows Host and select that. And this is going to take not too long to download. I now have this executable version. So let's go ahead and double click on it to load the application. And this is VirtualBox 7.2.4 as of January of 2026. Now that we have the installer, go ahead and just select next. You'll see that there's all of the user agreement information. Click to accept. That took less than a minute. Go ahead and select the finish button and it'll start up VirtualBox for us. The window pops up for a custom setup. We're going ahead and let it continue to install into this folder. We will select the check disk space because this window will let us know that we do have enough space left on our disk to go ahead and install VirtualBox and later Kali Linux. So we want to have at least 80 gigs worth of space left. Go ahead and select next, and this just tells us that there'll be a quick network disconnection. Go ahead and select yes through this. There's another note about missing dependencies. This doesn't matter with what we're doing unless you're going to use Python to automate some tasks for VirtualBox. So although you get the missing dependencies, go ahead and just click through it. Select what you'd like here, next button, and now it's ready to install. Now we're finished with the first step of the installation of VirtualBox. And eventually what we're going to do is we're going to load a new virtual machine, or we're going to open one that's pre-existing. So now we'll go back to our browser, go to kali.org, and again, we'll select download. And with a Windows machine, there are pre-built virtual machines for VirtualBox for Kali Linux. So select the virtual machines, select VirtualBox, and if I click on it, it'll go ahead and start downloading. And I can see up here the progress of the download. After it downloads, we do want to check the sum button, and then see this is the SHA-256 sum. And we're just going to verify that what we downloaded was what we believed was downloaded and not altered since this hash was published. So that's where I do go to 7-zip. If you don't already have it downloaded for your machine, go ahead and download that. That took a couple of minutes to finish up. So now that it's finished downloading, I'll go into my folder and I'll see that I have a zipped file there. I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I did already install 7-zip. So if I go to 7-zip and I'm going to check the hash, and again, we saw that it was the SHA-256 hash, and I'm just going to compute that hash. And I'll see that the hash value might be a little hard to see here, does in fact match the hash value that's expected. So now I know that this is safe to go ahead and unzip. We'll put this away. And right now everything is in my downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and make a folder for my virtual machines. I'll just call it VMs. So all of my VMs I'll keep in here. So my Kali Linux zipped folder, I'm going to put it in the VMs folder. My VirtualBox installation is still there. Go into the folder, and now we're just going to go ahead and unzip it. And I'm going to use 7-zip to do that. And I'm just going to say extract here. And the files are starting to extract. And that's all we need to uncompress the entire Kali Linux virtual machine that's pre-built for us. So we don't have to load this like it's an ISO or a disk. The fine folks at Kali.org already gave us a pre-built virtual machine for our Windows operating system. So now we've installed VirtualBox. We've potentially downloaded 7-zip and installed that, checked the hash, and now we've unzipped our virtual machine. Now we're clear to go ahead and open the virtual machine. Now, this isn't a new virtual machine because it's already built for us. If we had an ISO file, then we'd say new virtual machine. It'd be just like we're installing the operating system ourselves because we would. But this one is already pre-built. So let's go ahead and select open and go into that VMs folder. There's our Kali Linux, and you'll see that the VirtualBox virtual machine is already there, and that's the only one that's visible at this time. And now all of the information for our Kali Linux, and right now, as of January 2026, it's version 2025.4. Now I do have some configurations here that I may or may not change. One of the ones I'm going to take a look at is here under System. So if I double click on System, it'll pop up and show when this boots up, it's going to have 2 gigs of RAM. Generally, you want to give it 25% of what you have on your host machine, or if you can get up to 4, that's kind of handy. But it will still work at the default. But I'm going to go ahead and move this up a bit to about 4 gig. The default space for this virtual machine is an 80 gig hard drive. That's why we kind of checked how much space we have. It's a virtual hard drive that's going to have 40 gig in it. 80 gig in it. That's going to pretty much take care of everything you need. If you want a bigger one, you may have to go back to the ISO and reconfigure that. Basically, everything is all right. My network is set to a NAT, which I want. So as soon as this pops up, you can increase the amount of RAM to the virtual machine, and I can do this before I start it up. So with no changes, this will be fine. I did move my memory. Now I'm just going to go ahead and hit the start button. This is booting up the virtual machine just like you booted up your laptop or just like you booted up your desktop, but it's operating as an application inside the Windows operating system, just like Word would, or PowerPoint, or even your browser. So we'll let this spin up and give this a minute. It could take a minute, maybe 2 minutes to get going. And at this stage, we're all set. We have our virtual machine running. I'm going to go ahead and close out the VirtualBox to see that was just clogging up my screen. Close those warning out. And to log in, the username is Kali for this default pre-built virtual machine. Password is Kali. And we'll let this spin up. Right now, we have a full Kali Linux operating system running as a virtual machine. I can move it around, right? And just like any other application, it's running inside the context of this. But I do have a full machine. You may want to adjust the size. That's kind of the first thing I like to look at because I could work fine in this environment. Who am I? I'm logged in as Kali, print working directory. Everything is fine. I can practice my Linux. I can do everything I need to do. There's a lot of ways under the view to change the size of this. What I kind of like to do is I'll just pull it a little bit bigger and then I'll adjust it inside of Kali. So I hit the Kali dragon. I'll go ahead and type display and decide what resolution I want. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to, let's go to 1920 by 1200. Apply it, right? And it'll snap to that size. go ahead and keep it, close it, and then I'll go back to view and I'll say adjust the window size to make it nice and tight. So now then when I go ahead and open up a terminal window, Control Alt plus, I can make it bigger, take a look at what's my directories, what is my directory structure. Everything works great. Open up the Firefox, make sure my internet connectivity works. And I'll just use one of the tabs they give me, which is the Kali Linux tab. Goes nicely to that site. Go ahead and look at the different tools that are inside of Kali Linux. And if I just want to make sure I can jump outside somewhere that's not Kali, let's say go to securityweek.com and see what's new and hot in cybersecurity this week. Close it out. When we're finished, I do like to gracefully close out my Kali Linux. I just pick the power button inside the virtual machine, let it shut down until it drops back into the VirtualBox. And I'm back to this screen. And then if I want to close that out, I'm out. So now we're up and running with our Kali Linux virtual machine inside of VirtualBox on a Windows host. I'll go ahead and build another video doing this with a Mac using a silicon chip. I've already built some videos doing this within VMware Pro for both Windows and a Mac. I'll go ahead and put a link up there. And if you get a chance, hit the subscribe icon as well. Thank you.